So just to end off that point, I guess it was there were other bands out there in other cities and things that were trying to do something more doom oriented, but nobody knew of anything. Nobody sort of spoke up or
it wasn't really widely publicized.
Yeah, and so for the longest time, it effectively felt like the few couple of friends that that are into that sort of music, and want to either make that sort of music or even listen to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think then I want to kind of bring the conversation to the present. But the present isn't just like, it's not like boom now. There's been a bit of a preemptive to the present. And when I'm talking about the present, I'm kind of referring that it seems we're on the verge of the genre kind of, it's about to take a step back into prominence, kind of the way it did during the time of Gremlin days. Doom had it enjoyed a little bit of prominence in the social, what do you call it, nightlife?
Spectrum.
Yes. Because there was activity at that time, and it seems like we're kind of coming full circle, and that's about to close. So I think let's just jog back 2 or 3 years to the formation of the League of Doom and the 2 shows that took place, which the title, sorry, if you can, pronounce that better than I do.
Symphonaire Infernus.
Say it again?
Symphonaire Infernus.
Symphonaire Infernus. Yeah, cool. All right.
So,
brainchild, you go.
So it was roundabout in 2010, towards the end of 2010, where I basically decided that throughout my life there was a sort of like the bastard child of heavy metal or the music genre being doom, sort of sitting on the sidelines, and I was sure that there must be other people out there that either would fully appreciate it, had never heard of something like that, or just maybe had a slight glimpse but wanted more and just didn't have that outlet to go to, and also on a purely personal level to be able to go out and have a good time out on a night listening to the music that you really like
you've been missing out on for the last 10 years prior.
Exactly. So what I decided was to get a whole bunch of people around the table that the immediate people that I knew of that were into the genre, who were passionate about the genre and also passionate about music, and some people that came to that initial meeting at 2010 didn't even play an instrument, but they were just passionate about doom and wanting to help out.
Yeah.
I mean, the 3 of us were there, and Heike was there. Rory, who's not here. There were a number of us there that just came together, and we agreed to found something at the time, and eventually became the institute, which is called the League of Doom.
Yeah.
And it's
that voting process was funny.
Yeah.
Whose sole purpose at the end of the day is to spread the word of the genre to everybody, and to expose people to something. I mean, I've always said if there's one person that hears something that we have performed or will be performed or anything of the like that, hears the music and think, that's what I'm about, that's my music, then it's job well done for me, because that's at some point in time all 3 of us were that person who didn't know of it, and it's not something that gets readily distributed or spoken about. You don't go to a party or be at a house party or an event, or even locally at least, bands don't come down to South Africa of that genre, so it's exposed.
So the League of Doom, if one had to sort of like summarize or encapsulate what it is, you would say it's basically the establishment of an informal fan club.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But the mandate is to kind of
wear white flip-flops,
spread the word, and wear white flip-flops.
Yes.
Just to spread the word. I mean, it's bad enough that people don't know about it.
So it's not to be a fan club; it's to almost grow a fan base.
Exactly.
To create awareness
Yeah.
more than anything else.
Yeah. And I mean, you mentioned that original meeting in 2010 and some of the people that sat around the table. I mean, Heike's gone on to
join Draconian.
Yeah. Just like in the present day, it's like probably one of the most recognized like protagonists of the genre.
Exactly. Yeah.
In like today's terms.
Yeah.
You know, like
it just goes to show the. I mean, whilst initially there may have been a few of us, but everybody was extremely passionate about it and took it very seriously.
Yes.
There are a few of us. Did you know what it was like to wrangle the 100 people that played that first show?
Yeah. All right, well, tell us about those shows. I mean, look, I was there, but whoever's watching this would probably be what League of Doom, what work has this done?
We decided
so far?
the best way to present the genre to people. It was probably a bit uncut back then because you only invited your mates and so on.
Yeah.
Hello, Donovan.
Donnie. Are you recording?
Yeah, looking good.
I've got a couple of questions.
You got a nice
Minor thing.
Yeah.
So what is
anyway,
DOOM actually stand for?
All right.
it's just a bad misspelling of Doos. Really.
Tell Donovan about
Symphonie Infernus.
Yeah.
Right. So we decided the best way to present this genre, this orphan genre that no one gave a fuck about, was to actually just go out and play a show, because I think at the time live music in Cape Town was on the up, most definitely. And we went and booked Raw, and we decided, okay, we're going to have a selection of songs that we're going to present to people. And everyone put their hand up like, I want to play that song, I want to play that song. For fuck's sake. You got 3 drummers, 18 million guitarists, like 2 bassists, and I was one of them. I'm a guitarist. And essentially 1 vocalist. Oh, fuck's sake. And everyone's, it was like watching a Monty Python movie, like deciding which songs to. So, okay, obviously, which Mod Iron Bride songs are we going to do? That was easy. And then, okay, we're going to do Anathema, okay. Fuck, Swallow the Sun, that's pretty easy. We have to like go back, and then it was like, ooh, let's do Black Sabbath. And then everyone looked at me and I was like, fuck you, I'm not doing that solo. So that got scrapped. And then, because you were the one of the big ideas.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, so we ended up doing a wonderful array of Doom songs that covered everything from modern to classic to traditional to old to everything. We did Theatre of Tragedy, and it was all rehearsed in a space smaller than this.
With all those people.
All those people.
I think in the first show we had about, 12 different musicians?
13. 13 and over 8 songs.
Very Doom number.
And every single song was done with a different lineup. Which was challenging because you had to book practices and different.
But the point of that presentation was to, in a way, kind of like showcase.
It was to reignite interest in what we thought was a neglected genre.
Yeah.
That we loved very much.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into why the second show is significant, but we did a second show. Which was far more ambitious. Just as many people,
which is
twice as many
because,
songs.
Yeah, because I remember the first show was finished, and the sort of general sentiment was, "We're going to simplify this down."
Yeah,
and the opposite happened.
I think the different thing was with the second show, and also, at least from my perspective, why there wasn't a third show last year. At least was. We were too ambitious for very emotional reasons in that show, and like it kind of. We got a little bit carried away with it a little bit, but it turned out to be great. I mean, everybody...
It was incredible.
It was really, really great.
I mean, for me, the personal highlight was not only being able to play the Peaceful 3 and some other fantastic stuff like Catatonia, whatever, but I got to perform the first 2, in fact, it's all 1 and 2, but I had Paul Blom on drums.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, man. I mean, this is what drove me to pick up an instrument in the first
it's like the
instance
circle
of life,
is complete.
And there you are. You rub your eyes out. You're standing in a practice room with Paul playing drums, and you're going, okay, no, it goes this way and that way, and you're just interacting like he's just another member of the damn band.
Yeah.
And you're going, fuck, he wrote this, you know?
And
It was just amazing.
And I think it was on par when what was even more awesome was when he was complimenting Roy on his vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Considering
wow.
the shoes he was
He's
filling.
filling,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But what you've actually described in that performance project is you're talking about 3 generations of like doom orientated like musicians coming together and
It was a
and
lovely collaboration.
reliving something. But what I want to kind of get to now is like, all right, so we had in these recent years that taste of something tangible, that taste of the genre again, and the sign that, you know, it's taking a step towards prominence. So I want to ask now, where we currently stand, what is that next step towards prominence? You know, like, I know that there's been this project
I suppose that we
in the pipeline, and I'd like to hear now more about that project,
Well, that project-
or this new band, which
The
is
project, like we alluded to earlier, was Bram and I started writing some music, and then Esther came on board. So it was kind of, you know, Grown 2.0, but it wasn't. The music is vastly more advanced. And, you were part of it on paper, but what the League of Doom Symphony and Infernus shows, what they facilitated was that we then, it was getting Rory on board,
yeah,
who's our vocalist, and getting Biggie on board, who's took over on bass, and things started moving along a lot quicker.
yeah,
It was always going to be a labour of love.
yeah.
You know, everyone being involved in other bands and so on, but it's become more than a labour of love now. In the fact that we have recruited Ronnie on drums, because we've dabbled with other people. We've sort of talked about this and that, but
Ronnie's got that feel.
there's no one better at interpreting what the music's all about. I mean, he sits down, drunk off his tits at a party, and nails it.
Yeah.
Where other people have the song for weeks and they're good, but and they're great. They're all great drummers, but they just don't.
Like Ronnie knows what
They
to
don't have
do
that thing.
instinctively.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
And that
what you
was the
want.
final piece of the puzzle. Look, I mean, you want to go back 3 or 4 years. This band's been playing longer than that.
Yeah.
And I mean, Bram and I've been writing these songs for like 7, 8 years.
But we're talking about it sort of manifesting sort of
Yeah,
out of its
recording will start.
preparation phase soon.
If recording doesn't start by the end of the year, I'm gonna jump off the fucking building.
yeah.
And then the band will be famous for my death, rather than the fucking material which I wrote. Most,
Yes.
You know, with Bram and Esther
Yeah.
and so on.
All right. Well, that's
So that's ashes at my grave.
Yeah.
As we stand, hopefully by the time that this video is put out, we will have started recording.
yeah.
And, you know, it'll be a long ass process.
Yeah. And I think then, I mean, that's something we can look forward to in maybe 2016 at some point. But let's come to more immediate activity. League of Doom
Yes.
Yeah.
is not ashes at my grave.
Exactly.
Although, mind you, there's quite a bit of cross-pollination.
Yeah,
Let's get
well,
back to
we can't help it.
let's get back to the League of Doom and what's next up on the agenda. I mean, there's been the 2
Symphony and Furnace.
Symphony and
1 and 2,
Furnace
yeah.
shows.
There's a third one coming up.
Yeah, but the third one's not going to be a live presentation.
Yeah,
I think, tell us everything you'd like to share about.
Well, first of all, it's happening this December, on the 12th of December at Hecticon Hope. The objective here is twofold. I mean, before it was quite an insular little group. We did some performances and we never sort of broadcast it out to the public. And one thing was that, you know, when you're performing on stage, it's the crowd and it's you. You know, 2 separate things. And you know, you don't have that chance to sometimes interact and to ask questions and to try and learn more. So what we decided to do was to this year host an event which is going to be a whole series of DJs playing various genres of doom metal. So we're going to have subgenres. Yes, so we're going to have traditional doom slots. We're going to have stoner doom. We're going to have death doom. So it's all going to be presented. So there'll be a piece of something for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's going to be coupled with a sort of a public release of a Facebook page, whereby people can join on, get in touch, know what's going to be happening, and just be informed and have like this hub of information, because there are a number of things in the pipeline, and we want to get the message out there, and just to get the genre some
up until now, it's not been something that we've felt that needed a large public platform.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was about
fairly
to say.
insular. So this is the launch of a more interactive and inclusive platform.
Yeah.
So we were all mates before, and we weren't expanding. Essentially.
But that wasn't the objective before.
So now we've got to the point where we think that we have not only enough interest, but the launching pad from which we can actually start something.
Yeah.
It can grow, because we know that there are people out there that, like us back in the day, didn't know about something.
Yeah.
So I think that the responsibility falls on you to actually get it out there, but you can't do it half-assed. You got to.
Yes.
We've built something now and now we can go.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about, and like it, don't like it, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But perhaps there are, like you said earlier, people out there that might identify with what we love and live for.
Yeah.
But they haven't been exposed to it.
Yes. So what you're saying basically is, to anyone who happens upon this video, it's like, if you think you would enjoy emotive but heavy music, you've got friends to share that with.
Exactly.
Friends to share that among.
Exactly.
And we've got a place to do it.
And very important. There's a place to do it.
And the bottom line is, there's so many people out there who want to just hear something different. Maybe maybe it's not something that you end up liking, but at least it gives you the knowledge that that's what's out there. Maybe it'll inspire you in other ways. I mean, so what I'm saying is, I mean, it's worth everybody's while, effectively, to at least listen in and see, hey, what's that about? If you want to just do something new, and maybe it kind of turns out, hey, that's really my thing.
Well, I think unless there's anything you guys want to carry on further with, we could say we've concluded our interview.
Well, I would just like to thank Patrick Davidson, the role that he is, for having us and conducting the interview. Because I mean, without your tireless and thankless work, very often none of this shit would ever happen. So.
Of course,
I mean, you're indulging two dronkies. You're fucking sitting here, pretty much fucking breakfast time on a Saturday drinking.
What was
taking time out of your fucking day?
What was the proposed name for the podcast? What Biggie?
It's Biggie and Boyks. No, Biggie and the Bergie or something.
Biggie and Bergie.
Yeah, maybe that'll become a thing.
No, cool. Thanks
like
for
Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney.
Thanks for coming through to Somerset West and saving me the trip out your guys.
Oh, that's also true.
And for bringing the technology. It's much better than my usual. Like, I see my notebook is visible here in the screen. I haven't written in it once. So
we were going through from old school to
the technological advancements. Hey, shut up.
All right, no, it's your turn.
Thanks, Donovan.
Thank you, Donovan.
Awesome bar.
Fucking amazing place.
Everyone's in. You guys get back to the Doom.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think I might have swapped the M for an S a little bit. But
Again.
you came to our early shows. You tell me.
The thing is, you know, like you chose like the two most bubbly people, generally speaking, here to represent Doom. It's not doing a good representation.
No,
Dude, you didn't go into a Biggie laugh.
No, I didn't.
The thing is,
Cry.
Doom is not as sulky as what people think it is.
No, of course it's not.
no,
No, of course not.
But I
It's
think
not as sulky as Donovan believes it is.
Yeah, but Donovan doesn't know much better.
About Snake Blood.
Snake Blood.
I don't know, you listening to the wrong band.
Yeah, no.